Reading books is one of the best parts of learning a language because suddenly it doesn't feel like studying anymore. It feels like entertainment. It feels like fun. That's why today I'm going to recommend 10 easy-to-read English books that are not just going to improve your English, they're also just great books and really fun to read. I'll tell you a little bit about each book and then read a quote from the book so you can check and make sure that the difficulty is right for you. If you're ready to dive in, be sure to click like on this video and hit subscribe so you never miss another one of my videos. Number 1 on my list is Will You Please Be Quiet, Please by Raymond Carver. I love this book, and it's actually not just one story, but a collection of short stories about ordinary people who face important moments in their lives, and it's about how they deal with their feelings. Here's a quote from the book. She was a tall woman and thin, and she moved through the house with a kind of dazed efficiency. She was in the kitchen now, washing dishes. He watched her from the doorway, wanting to say something, anything, to break the silence between them. Number 2 on my list is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. This is a book about a boy named Christopher who has autism and tries to solve the mystery of a neighbor's dog that was hurt. Here's a quote from the book. I find people confusing. This is for 2 main reasons. The first main reason is that people do a lot of talking without using any words. Shaban says that if you raise one eyebrow, it can mean a number of different things. It can mean, I want to do sex with you. It can also mean, I think that what you just said was very stupid. Number 3 on my list is The Snow Child by Owen Ivey. This book is about an older couple in Alaska who build a child out of snow, and then a real little girl appears in their lives, just like magic. Here's a quote from the book. Wolves were everywhere. Their howls broke the icy stillness of the night, and even in the daylight, their shadows lingered at the edge of trees, just out of sight. Mabel could feel them watching, waiting. They moved like ghosts through the snow, silent and swift, their eyes gleaming in the darkness. Number 4 on my list is The Giver by Lois Lowry, a classic. It's about a boy named Jonas who lives in a world where everything seems perfect, but then he finds out that things are not really what they seem to be. Here's a quote from the book. For a moment, though, he remembered the face of the man he had killed. It was still fresh in his mind, and he felt the heavy weight of guilt settling in his chest. It was not an easy burden to carry, but he knew it was necessary for the greater good. Number 5 is Ham on Rye by Charles Bukowski. It's a story about a boy named Henry growing up in LA, Los Angeles during tough times, dealing with school and family problems. Here's a quote. I didn't like school. I didn't like the teachers. They were like everybody else. They were bullies, and I knew it. When you finished school, you were finished, and I knew that too. Work for 50 years. You get a gold watch. You die. That was the system. I knew it, even if they didn't talk about it. I sat there and watched them. Number 6 is a true classic, The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. It's about a teenager named Holden who explores New York City and talks about his feelings and his problems after leaving school. Here's a quote. People always think something's all true. I don't give a damn, except that I get bored sometimes when people tell me to act my age. Sometimes I act a lot older than I am. I really do. But people never notice it. People never notice anything. I bet you've heard of number 7 on my list, The Alchemist. It's about a boy named Santiago who travels to find treasure and learns important lessons about following his dreams. Here's a quote from the book. When he was just a child, the king had given him a sword of solid gold. It was to show the future king the power of wealth and its possession. The boy was very proud of his sword until he had met a wise man who told him that a sword is made only of iron, and it was man's spirit that made it gold. Number 8 is a book by one of my favorite writers, The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. It's about an older fisherman, also named Santiago, who goes on a long adventure in pursuit of catching a giant fish. Here's a quote from the book. "He was an old man who fished alone in a skiff in the Gulf Stream, and he had gone 84 days now without taking a fish. In the first 40 days, a boy had been with him, but after 40 days without a fish, the boy's parents had told him that the old man was now definitely and finally Salau, which is the worst form of unlucky, and the boy had gone at their orders in another boat, which caught 3 good fish the first week." Number 9 is The Little Prince. The Little Prince travels to different planets and learns many important lessons about life and love and friendship. The writing style is really simple, but really charming and captivating. Here's a quote from the book. "And now, here is my secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." The little prince repeated this so that he would be sure to remember. He had never before met such a kind and wise fox. For the last recommendation on my list, I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I picked a book of easy-to-read poetry, Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. It's a collection of short and powerful poems that talk about love and pain, healing and strength. Here's a quote from the book. "I want to apologize to all the women I have called pretty before I've called them intelligent or brave. I am sorry I made it sound as though something as simple as what you're born with is the most you have to be proud of when your spirit has crushed mountains. From now on, I will say things like, you are resilient, or you are extraordinary, not because I don't think you're pretty, but because you are so much more than that." Guys, which of these books seems the most interesting to you? Maybe you can let me know down in the comments section. And don't forget, if you like reading stories to improve your English, that's exactly what I do here on my YouTube channel. So don't be a stranger, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.